So if you did the assignment, just drop an emoji. So if you've not been doing your assignment, you need to actually start because tomorrow is the deadline for all the assignments. And it's actually part of your assessment. So it's very important that you actually do it. So I'm not seeing any emoji for people that did it. If you did the assignment, just drop an emoji. Okay, just one person. So it's just one person that did the assignments. Okay. So we'll be starting now. So today we'll be talking about data visualization and data storytelling. So if you've not completed your assignments, please do so. Tomorrow is the deadline for submission. So from day one, day two, day three, day four, and the final one, day five, send everything. So it's going to be in a PDF format that you're submitting. And I send the format with which you're going to name your file. It's going to be your first name underscore your surname underscore the day. So if it's day one, you write day one. If it's day two, day three, like that. So that's the format with which you are submitting. So we'll be starting now. Let me share my screen. So today, the data sets we'll be using, um, you can check the link. The data sets we'll be using is still in that same link I shared with us, where we downloaded the first data sets. So please check the link. You'll see it is it's called Kaggle car data sets. So download it. And also there are some images there alongside the um alongside the data. I would also like you guys to download those images because we'll be working with it today. So I'll be sharing my screen. Can everybody see my screen? Okay. So we'll be talking about data storytelling and data visualization today. So these are actually very, very important concepts that you do after the process of your analysis. Visualizing your data the right way and telling a good story about it is very important because that is what will keep people attention on the analysis you've done. So what is data storytelling? So it's actually the practice of using your data to communicate a message effectively. So it's a combination of your data analysis with your storytelling technique. So this way, your audience are going to understand the point you are driving at better and it will stick more to their head. So imagine so it's just like telling you that your analysis does not have to be boring. There should not just be staring at um That's just bar charts and not having a full picture of where you're driving, what you're driving to at the end of the day. So that's what makes storytelling very important. And storytelling actually involves a lot of things. So it involves things like choosing the right color, choosing the right color, choosing the right visual, choosing the right settings. So you want to, for instance, if you're analyzing data sets um, for like the Airbnb that assignment I gave you guys yesterday, you want at a glance that anyone that sees the dashboard should already know that, oh, you are doing it for this market. They already know that it is for a housing market. Same also if you are doing analysis for a sports company. Maybe you are a sports analyst for Manchester United. You want them to immediately see it and know that, okay, this is for sports. So that is the part of the art of storytelling. You need to be able to convey the message the right way and make your audience understand what you are trying to tell them in your analysis. So data visualization does not just stop at analyzing your your data. It also involves you telling, conveying your data the right way, telling people what you are trying to what you're trying to tell people, passing it across to them the right way. They should not have to start racking their head to understand what you are trying to say. So, um, I'll be walking us through different visuals that we should use because in storytelling, you actually have to also make use of the right visual. So that when you're displaying, when you're presenting, you don't just see yourself using just one particular type of visual. Imagine you are presenting to people and everything, maybe you're a sport analyst, and everything you just have to show them is a bar chart, bar chart, bar chart. At a point, it might get confusing or they might get distracted and they just lose focus, lose attention on what you are trying to say. So I want us to, I want to walk us through different visuals that we can use for our visualization whenever we are analyzing our data. So the data set we are using today is in the drive that I shared with us that first day. Let me try and get the links of it. Drop the link now in the chat. So the name of the data set we are using is Kaggle car data. It's a CSV file. So we'll also be seeing how to import CSV to our data, our Power BI. So I'll be sharing my screen now to show us the different visuals that we can use for our analysis. So yeah, um, this is a site that just talks about different visual. So something about um, being a data analyst, you have to like keep up. You have to continually search for a better way to represent your data, and newer ways always come up to represent data. So you have to keep searching. And Microsoft, for one, they have a marketplace where they actually have all these data sets. And you can always go there to download and get more. They have a market where they have different ways to represent data so that you can always get more and more visuals to use. So you should always be on the lookout for the best way I can represent any data I have. So this first one, First one is the number chart. And I think we are familiar with this already from Power BI card visual. So something about this now, we can see it's called a number chart. So no matter the visualization you are using, maybe Tableau, in Tableau, if you want to represent your number, just like how we do in Power BI that we use a card, you might not see anything called card in Tableau. But the most important thing is you knowing that, okay, you want to represent a single digit data. What should I look for? What should I go for? You can easily test out all the visuals that you see in Tableau until you find the one that seems similar to what you have on Power BI. So that's why I said from the beginning of the class that data analysis is not about the tool you are using. It's about yourself, knowing what you want and going for it. So if so, even if you are told to use any other type of visualization tool, the fact still remain that that does not take away your knowledge as a data analyst, your knowledge of knowing what's the best way to represent your data, to interpret it, to visualize it. So that is what make you a data analyst. So it's not just about the tool in itself. So here now we can see the number chart. And looking at this number chart, you can see that it's also similar to card visual that we have because it displays just a single number. So you know as a data analyst that when you see anything that is any representation that has to do with representing a single number, a single digit, a number chart is what you go for. So be it Power BI, Tableau, Looker, any of the visualizations, so you look for anything that represents a digit singly like this. So and it's a it's it's called card on Power BI. So here we have line charts, and we've used this line chart in one of our past classes. So anywhere you see line charts, it's usually to represent trend. Like you are trying to show a progression of how things move, how things are going. So that's why you see that in past classes we'll be always using to represent things like time, maybe um, year, months. So something that is progressive. So things like acceleration, speed. So anything that is progressive, you always want to use a line chart to represent it because it shows that it's continuous. So, by now, yeah, does anything like that. A waterfall chart. So usually when you are dealing with numbers, this is where this waterfall chart comes in. So let's say you want to represent profit and loss, and it's something related to finance, you would definitely want to go for a waterfall chart. So moving on, we have our bar graph. So this is like one of the most popular ones that most people tend to use. And sometimes when you overuse it, it makes your work boring. So you don't want to limit yourself to using just the bar graph. So you want to also look out for better ways to visualize. But it's just that this bar graph is like it's like a perfect visual. That's it. So you want to do your count, you want to show how a number affects a particular entity, you always use your bar graph. So so the bar graph, there are different types. It can be grouped, it can be stacked, um, then column graph. It's also similar to the bar graph. like that. So
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Please confirm if you can hear me. Yes, our tutor is currently facing a technical glitch. She'll be back on soon. Kindly exercise patience. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, David.
inclusion, accountability, fairness, and responsiveness of AI models.
My expectation for this workshop basically is to learn, some of the best practices as regards, the AI system.
How to use AI, that's artificial intelligence, to strategize into what I do, which is data science.
If you're trying to deploy a system across, let's say, different geographies, then you don't just want to rely on historic data for a particular geography.
AI is now in our faces. It's something that we now use daily. So it means that even as a user, you have to be responsible.
I'm trying to start this my new journey with DSN. I'm hoping that I start on a very great level.
How you use AI also matters. Are you using the AI for what it's meant to be used for?
To be the best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently.
Ladies and gentlemen, and the winner is DSN Data Science Nigeria.
On me, so stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up. For the champions, for the champions.
Congratulations, DSN, on winning the AI ML Excellence Awards at the AOT 5.0 Awards. We all want to say, congratulations!
For the champions, stand up. Stand up! Stand up! Stand up! Here we go.
Congratulations! Congratulations, DSN.
It's just life that.
Congratulations, DSN.
Our strengths and weaknesses. Oh, I have vision, can't you see? I'm on the move, make way for me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up. For the champions, for the champions, stand up, stand up, stand up. For the champions, stand up. And when I fall down, congratulations, pick myself up.
Congratulations to DSN.
When I fall down, to pick myself back up. And when I have to pick myself back up. And when I fall down, I have to pick myself back up. Stand up.
Congratulations, DSN.
Stand up. Stand up.
So don't let it go, 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 go. So don't let it go. So don't let it go, go, go. So don't let it go.
With AI, our foundation just recently put out a challenge to ask for ideas about using AI to reduce inequity. And we reached out and got 1,300 proposals, and half of those came from Africa. And my next visit back to the continent, which will be in October,
Sorry, I'm sorry about the glitch. My network is really bad here. I don't know. MTN has been terrible. But can everybody hear me now? Okay, thank you. So, to continue. Welcome me. Can you please allow me to share my screen? Welcome me, can you hear me?
Good afternoon, Flora. Can you hear me? Yes, you can share your screen.
All right. Okay, so can someone just tell me where the call dropped off? 'Cause I'm not sure where. Was it when I was discussing the bar chart or before then? Just type it in the chat. Was it when I was discussing the maps or okay? Okay, the bar charts, all right. Okay, so I said the bar chart is one we are familiar with already, and it's like it's like the most popular one people like using. But I said we should not restrict ourselves to just using the bar charts. And there are actually different types of bar charts. We have the column, we have the stacked bar chart, the horizontal, and also we have the column charts. Um, we have the grouped column charts, and we also have the grouped bar charts. So But we should actually not restrict ourselves to just using that. So now we are on the pie chart. So the pie chart is also one that people tend to abuse a lot. So something about the pie chart is when you have more than three variables to represent, it's better you use a completely different chart than using the pie chart because it can be clumped together. When it's clumped together, it's actually hard to know the message that is being passed across. Like this one we are seeing right now is actually not a good representation because merely looking at it, you are not sure which one is the bigger one, which one is the smaller one until you start looking at the value. And that's not good practice because the point of visualization is when I see the visual, I understand it immediately. I don't have to start reading the value. The value is just supposed to be there for when you need further information. So moving on, we have the gauge charts. So usually this kind of charts is used when you have like data coming in the real time. And what real time data is? It means data that is constantly being added to like you're getting probably traffic data that is always coming in probably by the minute, by the seconds. So you need to see the changes. You need to see the changes. So usually when you use this kind of data, this kind of visual, it's when you are working with interactive dashboard. So I'll explain what an interactive dashboard is. So we also have the scatter plots. So for people that are familiar with Python, might actually know the scatter plots already. So usually when you want to represent probably up to 3 different entities, scatter plots is the best. You want to see the distribution of what you are representing. So you could use it in you can use it in terms of the color to show the differences between what you want to show. And you want to see how spread out it is. So it's actually a good form of visualization. So usually I'm trying to see the relationship between what I'm trying to show, like a correlation. So we have this spider or radial chart. So it also shows relationship. So you want to see how this is related to that, to this, to that. And you want to see it based on the closeness. I want to see based on which one is not really performing well. So it's actually a good chart. Also, you could use it for more than 2 or 3 variables, just like scatter plots that we have. So you can see the difference. Like when dealing with pie chart, it's better to use it's better to restrict it to variables that are not plenty, maybe like 2 or 3. But with scatter plots or this spider chart, you can use it with as much number of variables that you want to show. So that's why I said in data analysis, you don't restrict yourself to one. There might be a better chart somewhere, a better visual somewhere. So maybe I always using pie chart. Sometimes just go out for something better that can represent what you're trying to represent. So moving on, we have the tables. I think tables is like a normal one everybody almost similar to your Excel, the way it has rows and column. So usually if you have numbers and it's actually kind of vast. So sometimes table is just the best to see, especially maybe you are looking at price of something. In financial analysis, it's usually table that is like the most used. So then we have area charts. So area charts is kind of similar to the line charts. So they are also used to show um, continuation in your data. So same thing you can use your line chart to do. You can also use your area chart to do it. Then we have the bubble plots. So we might not see this in our Power BI, but it's in Tableau. But something about it is that if you check your Power BI market, where I told you that you can download more visual, you should be able to see something like this. So it's usually used when you want to compare numbers. You want people to see how big the number is compared to this other number. Probably when you're showing price of products, that kind of thing. So you can use a bubble plot. So we have this box plot, and usually, like most of the time, you'll see this in your Python when you're looking at distribution of your data. So it's almost similar to histogram. So usually you might not use a box plot for your normal visualization in your Power BI because it might not give you the kind of insights you want it to give you. So usually this is used when you're maybe doing your machine learning visualization to see how distributed your data is. So we have the funnel chart, and I think we use this in one of our visuals. So you can use it to see change change in something. You want to see how your data is, the progression of your data. So how big, how it moves. So it's almost like it's in stages. You don't see it in stages. So funnel chart is also a good one to use. So something that you may want to represent on your bar chart, sometimes you can just take it to your funnel chart to display, and it display it better. So let's say you have something and it was on a bar chart, while people are still trying to find out what you're trying to show them. If you take it to your funnel chart, they already see it immediately. They already see the big picture of what you're trying to show them. So we also have the bullet chart. So it's also similar to your bar chart, but as I said, it's not every time you use your bar chart. So there are actually other visuals that are similar that can also do the same function as your bar chart. That's why you should always be looking out for a better representation. So while there may be something out there, rather than bringing in a boring kind of visualization, it might be something better out there to use. So the list go on and on like that. We also have our tree map. So usually is to show hierarchy in number. So it show you the biggest, then down to the smallest. So this is not all the charts we have in the world. There are a lot of charts that you keep discovering each day. Like it never finish. So it's your duty to actually be searching for ways to represent your data better. So now we'll be going to our class for today. So has everybody downloaded the data I said you should download from that drive? Okay. Share my screen. So has everybody downloaded the data? Okay, before we even go there, I want to share a book you can actually read. So let me share. I'll just show you guys a book you can look for to read, to know better, to know all these things better. Because actually, as a data analyst, you're not an island of knowledge. You need to constantly be researching and looking for better ways to do things. So let me share my screen. So this book that is being displayed, you can just look for it, Storytelling with Data. So it's a book that can actually put you through on the perfect visual to use for whatever you want to represent. So you actually need to keep up with the trend, keep up with newer ways of doing things. So you can just take a picture of this and search for it online. So we'll be working with the data sets, NACA data sets I told everybody to download. So I actually want us to work fast today. So I've already brought out some things that we can analyze so that we can actually build our dashboard, because sometimes dashboard building takes time because you want to think of a good way of doing of building. So I've actually brought out, so you people on your own, you can just bring out some things that you feel is necessary to analyze. So yeah, would be analyzing the fuel type, the car's fuel type. We're analyzing the seller type, the transmission of the cars, the kilometer driven by the car name, then the car with the price. So there's also one other one I want us to do. So yeah, you can see I want us to do a tree map, which is one of the visual that I told you about. So for the tree map, there's a tree map visual here. It's just to show the hierarchy. You want to see the car by the selling price from the highest to the lowest. So I click on the tree map. Hope everybody is seeing what I'm doing. Oh, you can see my screen. Let me share it.
I can see your screen, Flora.
Oh, you can see my screen. Okay. All right. So everybody can see where I am. So I click the tree map. So this is where it is. So want to see the hierarchy of the cars by their selling price. So which car is selling more, selling better? So put in the car name in the category, then the value, that is the selling price. You put it in like this. So you can see all the cars, and it's actually arranged from the lowest to from the highest to the lowest. Normally, if you want to do this, you might think of bar charts, but like I said, there are always better ways of doing something. You don't have to always be using bar charts all the time. So now, this is actually too much. Can only see from here to maybe here, and the rest, they are too tiny. So what we'll do is that let us just look at the top 10. And like I said, when you want to see the top 10, that means you are filtering. So you are filtering, filter pin, and you're selecting the top 10. So everybody know how I got this, right? Something we've been doing in past classes. Everybody know how I got this? You don't know how I got here? Okay, let me do it again. So I said we are trying to see the car prices. The selling price. You want to see the car with the highest selling price. You want to see their hierarchy. So usually you might want to use a bar chart. Like I said, it's not all the time you use bar charts. Instead of using a bar chart, something that is regular, we can also use something called a tree map. And this is the tree map here. So you click on the tree map, then you select the category you want to see. That's the category you want to see the hierarchy for, which is the car name. So you bring it in like this. Then you want to see by the selling price. So you take it to the value and drop it there. So now you can see all the car and their hierarchies from the highest tier to the lowest tier. So the thing about it is now, this is now looking jam-packed. You might not see everything like you want to see it. So what we're going to do is that we'll be filtering. So the filtering is still the same way we've always been filtering in past classes. You come to your filter pane and you select top in. And you select, you want to see the top 10. You take your selling price and you apply the filter. So now you have this. So does everybody get it now? If you get it, just drop a emoji. All right, so I apply the filter on the filter pane. The filter pane is what we've been talking about in past classes here. This is the filter pane. Select the top end and it puts the number that you want to see, which is 10. And you filter by the selling price. So moving on, we have everything we want to visualize now. So let us have a new sheet. So I said I was going to tell you guys the difference between so there are two types of dashboard. There is a static dashboard and there is an interactive dashboard. So what we've been doing so far has been interactive dashboard, where we've been adding slicers. So the reason why we are adding slicers is that we want to drill down on our data. What is drilling down? Drilling down is you click, maybe there's a slicer here. Let me just add one slicer. Let me do a slicer based on, let me say here. So I'm trying to make it, okay. So we have our slicer year to year like this. Let me make it to be the familiar way we all know to be. Okay, so we have our slicers here, and it's showing us all the years from 2003 down to 2018. So what this slicer does is when you click 2003, it shows you all the data for 2003. So now it's showing you the fuel type, transmission, like that. This is for only the year 2003. 2003. So we can also do the same for 2004, like that. You can even select from multiple years. So the way you select is you click your control button and you click this, this, this. So it's just like how you select on your computer. Sorry. Okay. I mistakenly zoomed out. Let me zoom in back. Okay, so now this is called an interactive dashboard, whereby you can choose the type of data you want to see. And if you say you're not drilling, so when you are clicking like this, you are drilling down. So we are seeing only from whatever we choose to see. So same also when you click on maybe here, you want to see only all the information that pertains to this individual, which is this category we clicked on. So this is called an interactive dashboard. That is, you are clicking, you are seeing all the information for that particular thing. That is called drilling down. So, but static is when you don't want to be touching to before you see an information. Like the only thing you want to see is only this page. You don't want to explore. That is static. So you're not exploring. So you just take this thing as a picture and you show people. So usually static is when you have a data and that your data is maybe, okay, let me give an example. So let's say you are working in a company and the company just want to show their dashboard for a year dashboard of how they did in a year. So that is the only data they are working with. And that is what they want to maybe put it on their website. They want their customer to be seeing it. So it's something that they will just want to show only the important information. They don't want the customer is not coming to come and check through, like, okay, let me drill down on this thing. They just want to say that, okay, we make this number of sales, we sold this market the most, just basic information. That's what they want to put out there. That's why you get to use static. Static. So the data is not changing. So the data is not coming in again. That is just what you want to use. So that's, you might choose to use a static. You might choose to build a static dashboard for that. But interactive is one in which you are always having new data. The new data is always coming into your data source. You're always adding new data to your dashboard, to your database that you are constantly analyzing. And also, you may not necessarily be bringing in new data, but maybe you want to have this drill down and drill through. So at that point, you would actually need an interactive dashboard. So yeah, now what we've been building since all these days has actually been an interactive dashboard, but today we'll be doing a static one in which all what we are showing is going to be on one page and can be exported as an image. So just merely looking at it is just going to be an image. So we're taking out the sliders. Sliders is not going to be useful anymore because we are not selecting on anything. Because you cannot select a picture. So it's just going to be static. Sorry. So now we'll be building our dashboard. So now we have a car data set. We have the car analysis. We want to make our data sets to look something like a car or a car company. So one thing we need to consider, aside that we've already considered our visual, now we have a vast number of visual. Now, one thing we need to consider again is the colors we are going to use to represent. So when you are choosing a color, you might want to choose a color that falls in line. Maybe you are working for a company. You might want to choose a color that falls in line with your company color. Or if not your company color, you might want to choose a color that fits what you are doing at the moment. So, for instance, let's say for a financial data set, most people prefer to use blue to represent it because it's a cool color. But let's say you are a data analyst for like maybe Manchester United, you would obviously want to use red because that is what they represent. You cannot start bringing something out of place to use like maybe blue because it is not just a good representation. So color matters, and the color you choose really matters a lot. And you also want to combine the right color to use. You don't want your color to be everywhere. See blue, red, green all together. It will make your dashboard not to look nice. You don't want a color that will make people lose interest in looking at your dashboard. So now we are building for a car company. We would actually need to think of colors that rhyme a car. So you can actually, if you're not maybe some, because this is actually now having to deal with our artistic side and thinking like a designer. So for this kind of thing, you might actually want to look for inspiration outside to see, okay, this car, should I do it according to the brand? Should I do it maybe you're working for Toyota as an instance. You might want to look at the colors that their car come in. So it actually has a vast number of color, but you might want to be particular on a car color, maybe the brand's color. So for this analysis, I think black is a good color to use because it's just like a universal color and most car comes in black. So we'll be using black as our theme. So first of all, we'll be making our background to be black. So like I said yesterday, when you want to make your background, you come to your sheets, you won't click anything, just come here to your format your report page. Click on it. Then canvas background. So it's set to white by default. And I'll be using black. Then there's another thing. If you don't want to use your canvas background, let's say you want to use a different background that is not on Power BI, you can actually import your image. So by clicking this icon here, add file, you can bring in an image you want to use. So let's test it out. So let's say, let's do this. So when you bring it, remember I said your transparency must be at 0. So here we have it. We actually have a car behind this thing. So, but that's not what we are using today. So, taking it out. I just want plain black background. So, okay. Everybody is following up to this point, right? So we'll start bringing our visuals in one by one, formatting it. So Control C, then Control V. So first of all, before we start designing our dashboard, we need to consider something. We need to consider our visual on its own. How does our visual itself look like? So here we have this line charts like this. So I said we are doing um, a static dashboard. So in a static dashboard, you cannot scroll as like I'm scrolling now. It's only interactive that I can scroll. So it makes more sense for us to filter on this and show maybe only the top 10 cars by their kilometers driven. So let us do that. Um, let's filter. So in this filtering also, we can also decide that, okay, once we select a kind of card I want to see, and say you want to select maybe this one, select another one. So let us not do top 10. Let us ourselves choose the card I want to see. So let me select this one. Select this one also. I'll just select 10 different cards. So I'm just picking at random. So I'm just randomly selecting any type of car that I want. So maybe in a case where the company you're working with tells you that, oh, it's only this, maybe they have some brand, they'll be like, it's not all the brand you want to check. You want to only check for these 10 types of brand. So this is where you actually get to do it. Just select what you want to see. So is this up to 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's already more than 10. Let me just remove. So remove one more. Okay, so here we have it. So this is still not formatted very well. Let us still format it well. First of all, our names, and like I said, it's normal convention that whatever has been represented, you don't want to repeat it. There is no point writing sum of kilometers driven and car names when you already have sum of kilometers driven by car name. It's just redundant because you've already used the heading to explain it. So why are you writing it again? There's no need to write it again. Also, these values, you don't need to put it there. Mainly, okay, for this one, I said it's static, so you might want to leave it because you want people to see. But let's say it's an interactive dashboard. Merely putting your cursor on it already shows you what you are looking at. So for interactive, you might want to take out the values, but because we are doing a static, let's still leave it. But we'll be removing these names. So when it comes to remove the name is come to your visualization pane here and come to format your visual. So for the X axis, say we don't want to see the car name. So you click this arrow And you see title here. Click title. Like that, you remove it out. So does everybody get what I just did now? You can just reply in the chat if you get what I did. All right. Let's say you even say you don't want to see the car names itself. You can actually turn it off here. But as you turn it off, it makes no sense again. So car names is an important part of the visual that we need to see. So we are done with this x-axis. Then we come to the y-axis also. Is there anything we want to take out? We want to take out this sum of kilometers driven. So same also remove title. So here we have it. So then there is something that we can see. We are seeing dots, 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 dots. If you can see my screen, there are tiny dots, dotted lines. Yeah. That kind of thing, it actually does not really help in beautifying your dashboard. So, and it's redundant because you can see already where the number falls. So you can take it out. So they are called grid lines. So when you're done with it, you can just close it. So they are called grid lines. So you come to the grid line, click it, then you off it. Just turn it off. So those lines have disappeared already. It's no longer there. So so next thing I want to do is to format this name properly. I want to give the name a better. You want to make it. You want to make the title better. So how you do that is still here. So now we are done with the visual. So this place general. You might actually not remember where all these things are. But what the point of this, what I'm trying to do is to tell you that there is something that can do what you want it to do. So you come to general, you see title, come down to title. Then you see text. So text is what you edit. So let's give it a name. So we know it's kilometers. So we can just say speed of car, since kilometers signifies speed. So we can just give it a good name like that. Speed or speed by car or something like that. So let's say speed of car. So I want to centralize it. So you just come here. It's now at the center. You can also change the font. So if you don't like the font, you can change it to whatever you want it to be. So now this font is called Dean. So let's change it to this. So we have that. So now we look at the color blue. Does blue fit into car or the kind of car we have in mind? So there's something we can do. If you're not sure of the color to use, there's something called color generator. So color generator is where you can generate different color palettes you might want to use in your dashboard. So it's actually a website. So there are different websites for color generation. So let me share my screen. Stop sharing. Share. So I'll share my screen now. So this is a color palette generator. So let us use say silver. Let us use silver. So you just search for the color name. So now we can see different colors. So it gives you color combination that you can use. So we can see different shades that we can actually use. So what you just do is that, and this silver actually works well with black. So you just copy the color code. So this is a color code that you can use to represent what you want to do. So yeah, this is one color code. This one is another color code. So you just select the one you want to use. So let's go with this. If we need another one, we can come back to it. So let us use it for the background of this our visual. Aside from using this color generator, you can also choose normal colors in this your work. So you come here, pick effects. So you choose background color. So yeah, you can just choose a normal random color. But if you feel like you do not see the color you want to use, you can go to that color generator and generate the colors for you. So the one we generated, you select more colors and you paste the color code so that you can see that it has changed. So this is what we'll be using for our background. So then this color is still off, this color for line itself. So you might want to choose a better color for it. And to do that, you still come back here to visual. So you can see lines. Select line. Then it has color under it. So you select whatever color you want to use. So you might not exactly know. You might want to be testing out the preview. So let's test. So you might look that it's too thick or want something lighter. You can just play around with it to know which one you want. I think this black is fine. So you can also determine how you want this your area, because this is not a line chart, right? This is an area chart that I mentioned. This is an area chart. So you might want it to be maybe more transparent or very thick. However you want it to be, and choose it. So let's go this. Okay, so I think these two colors are clashing. So I might just leave that one as white. So now I said this is more about your artistic side. There might be a better designer here than me. So it just depends on your imagination, how you feel like it should. So we have this. So you can also change the format with which your line is showing. This is on a solid style now. If you want it to be different, like dash, like this, You can change it. If you want it to be dotted also, you can change it. So for now, we go with a solid style. So you can also change how it is joined. So we have this. Okay, this is actually not about the view itself. So, okay, this is what I'm looking for. So we can have it this way. You can have it this way. So it just depends on you, how you feel like you want your your visual to look like. So let's just stick to this. So I think we are done with this. Let's bring another visual. So let's do this one. So um for this also, it still follows the same process. So you just come, tweak what you want to tweak, change what you want to change. You can add your legend so people can know that purple represents this. But there's no need because anybody that can see, we already see that the name here. So no need to add legend. Like I said, this thing takes up space, and you want you one thing you don't want is for the visuals to be looking cluttered, to be looking cluttered. So as much as possible, if you can take out some things, take it out. So now for the colors are looking, they are looking somehow, just different combination. So you might want a color that is aligned. People online, are you, is everybody getting this? Okay, the color, you can actually use any color generator. Can actually use any color generator. So you don't, you might not necessarily use the one I'm using. So um so now we have to look for a shade that is uniform. So since we are doing black and white, you can actually just stick to it and combine colors here. So let's change this. Let's use this. You don't just want off colors. That's why you're looking for colors that are aligned. So just select the one that you feel looks good. Looks more aligned. The color that you think looks aligned. That way people see it, they know that okay, these things are related. So you don't want a case where everything is looking blue, then there will be one that will stand out to be maybe red or green. So I just selected one of all this. So you can see that everything is coming in different shades, but it's still the same color. Like you can still see that there's a relationship between these things. Okay. So we are good here. So you want to change the name, the title. You want to use a better title. You can say selling price has. Okay. We can also centralize it. So here we have it. So now I'm thinking that I should change this background color. I don't like it again. We should just stick to silver. So I'm coming to change background color, and I want to use this dark color I use. Yeah. So this is what I'm going to use now. So there's not just one particular color you can use. As you work on it, you can change it depending on what you think is. So everybody is getting it up to this point, right? Okay. If you feel like you have a better way to show it, you can suggest. It's not like there is one particular way of doing things. Yeah. So let us stick with this. So yeah, we use both pie chart and donut chart. Pie chart and donut chart actually do the same thing. They just look kind of different. Like nothing is in the middle for a donut chart. So yet also the formats are visual. So legend is actually important in this one. Unlike the tree map that I said there's no need for legend because they've already written it on the body. So that was why we didn't use legend for that. So you can choose what you want your legend to be. You want to change it or however you want it to be. So I think this is what saves space. So we can also change the title. We don't want this fuel underscore type to show. So we can just say fuel type straight like that. So for the slices itself, we need to make the colors aligned. So this color is looking off. So we can just choose the black. Then we want to choose a color that will still be visible and not too off. So I might want to choose a light white. So not exactly white, but a light version. So I think it's better to make this tiny one black and make that one that is black a different color because that tiny one is hard to see. So and if we decide to use white for this one, we will not be able to see it. So it's either you change this background to a different color so you can use white. But let's see if there is another color we can use aside from white. So this also is okay. Or let's change our background color for this. So let me scroll here. Background color. For the background color, I use, let's try this first. This is too dark. Try this. Still, and you don't want to use a color so that it now be clashing with this actual background color. Like this two now, they are looking kind of off. They're looking off in a way. So we could change it. Use Okay, we've used this one already. Skin, splashing. Okay, so I think we should just stick to using white instead, then change our slides. Don't use white for this. Let's just use one of these gray. So this is still aligned better. So the thing is, when you do this, when you use this kind of color for this pie donut chart, you also want to do the same for the other donut charts that you have. So, but let's change the title. Okay, come here, change the title. So you can just say, well, the count of well type. Then can also centralize the I think we should also change our font. So we don't want fonts that are clashing. So let's stick to that font that we used for this one, which implies I will also change this font. So if you are doing this for the first time, you might actually not like remember where something are. Even me, sometimes I still like have to start searching for where some formatting stuff are. So it's all right. You just have to look for it. So we have this. Okay, now I'm thinking that we should just use this color that we have here. It doesn't look good. We should use this color that we have here, our background here. Let's try it. But it's looking so dull now. It's looking so dull. I think we should just still stick to maybe not white, but let's look in our color generator. Now I say sometimes the colors here might not be enough. So let me just a cream palette. Let me share my screen. Everybody can see my screen now, right? Let me just search white. So it's give me different shades of white. Just give me white check. Taking me to another screen. It might not see my screen. Okay, let's try this color. Let's take this and Power BI and try it. So just click on colors, then paste the color code. So this is better, but this is affecting this because as much as it's okay, this is not so visible. So let us just change this slice to a different color. Okay. So now there's no white clashing of white. So this one's came up better. Cool. So I'm done with this. Let's do for this one. So yeah, now we can, it's better to just use the same color you use for this part, for this uh visual, and use the same year. So come here. Let's put our legend in down. Okay, guys are following. You're not lost. So it's just basic formatting that you have to format each of the visual. So just use this. For that exact shade that we used for this other place. So let's just use place. And this one, let's just make it white. Okay, background. Change the background. So still in line. So change the title to count of seller type. I hope you guys are not lost and still following. Just indicate in the comments, in the chat box. So here also we do the same. Let's still use the same color mentioned them. Okay. Can you guys hear me? So we also change the title, say count of transmission. Okay, so we should use the same. So for the slices, just use same one. So change the background. It's the same background. Okay. Now it's the right. Okay. To change this color. Okay. So now everything is coming together. So we have one. So this one, let us just, since this is a static dashboard, let's just filter what it's, let's just do 10. So what's happening? Okay. All right. So you have a different. Yeah, we don't have to use the same color. What just matters is you are representing it right. That's important. So for this, let us put it. So there are a lot of formats you can do. Can like select how you want able to look. Let's just use this. Same in line with that. So let's just check through what's with lines. Yeah, so something about all of this is you can actually select order. Go through that. So you can select how you want the values to. So these colors are actually in line with what you are doing, so there's no need to change it. And select your color data how you want it to. So I don't want it to automatically give me the size. Check that. So you can choose also if you want it to show total or times total, etc. So basically, you just have to check to see what you want to see. And there's something about table. You can actually show a bar chart inside table by activating this data bar. So yeah, you can see a bar chart is now showing. So, but we don't need it. So come here. So you can select size. Then if you want a title, I don't think there's need for title. So then the background also. Then if you want a border. So about the border, it's actually hard border. So come here. So let's add border for this our visual. So border is just like a boundary around it. So come to general, see visual border. So you say yes. So you can change the color of the border. We'll be using black, which is the default. I can make our border to have rounded corners like this. But I don't want it to have rounded corners, so I'm giving it. Then there's something called shadow. This shadow actually it beautifies your work. So this thing we can see here is the shadow. So it's not there before. But we apply that to, okay, we can actually have shadow here. Wanted it to be here before. Let us start we're just trying to make our visuals look nicer. That's what we are doing here right now. So you come here, under effects, visual borders. Yes. Then I want it to have rounded corners. Then I want it to have shadow. Then I want it the same thing for this. Rounded corners, then shadow. So you guys are getting what I'm doing, right? You too see how the outcome of this, you see the outcome now. Your borders, rounded corners, shadows. So can everybody see the shadows that was having? Can you see it? Before there was nothing like this thing that looked like a shadow in what we're doing, but now there is. Can you see? Just say, okay. So I added the index option, Felicia. I added the index option, column when I was analyzing my data. So we did not start from analysis because I wanted our work to be fast today. So it's something that you can add by yourself. You know how I told you to add index. You go to your transform, add column, and add index from one. So we have this. So now we actually now start we start positioning it how we want it to be, where we want it to be, and also the size. So when you are doing something similar, you try to make them have similar size. So this size now, let's check it here. You can come to check the size of your visual. So here, you come here, come to general, come to properties. So we can see the height is 200 and the width is 327. So you can do the same here. 200, 327, 327. Same thing here. So 327. So now everything has the same size. So you look for ways to position all of this well. So this might want to I want to put our table here. Okay, I have to format this. I don't want it to big, so let's leave it like this. Okay, set the size. Okay. So in everything, you try to make your size the same. This one has a shadow. I don't want it to have shadow, so I'll take it out. So let us bring this one down. So I want to leave space for whatever I want to do, maybe your title, whatever. So let us let us bring in our image. So I have an image I want to add. So to bring in image, you come to insert. Then under insert, you see image here. So it opens the file where the image is. So I have a car image. So I want when people glance at what I'm doing, they know that this is an image visualization I'm showing. So let me format it. See. Okay. So there's something called tooltip. Tooltip is just like a way to describe what you are showing. So if anybody over on this car, I may just put a message, tell them that a car. I can just say a car. So let's see other ways we can also format it. So we don't need the title. You can add a background for it if you choose to, like for it to be on top of something. So so now it's on a white background, but it might not be necessary though. You can also choose to give it a border. But let's reduce the size. I don't want it too big. So now let's introduce our company name. Let's just say, let's do like this is a one for Toyota company. So you can just say a Toyota dashboard. Let's introduce a text box. Toyota car sales dashboard. So I increase the has to be yes. Now also bolden it. So we have this. I want to draw it out like this. Okay. So there's also something you can do. This is looking plain. So you can decide to make it look better. You can decide to make this look better by introducing something called shapes. So let me see where the shape icons. Okay, under insert, let's see shape. Let's just use this. So let's just quickly format the shape, change the background. Okay. I just give it this. Let's give it a white color. Let's make it glow. Let's glow be a silver glow. So there's no need to put shadow there because too much of something also spoils out something. So let's bring back this. So we can actually add a text into our shape. So we can just write this Toyota sales dashboard there if we don't want to. So we can just take this one out. We don't need it again. Because we use shapes to design the view shapes. So our dashboard is coming together. So this is still not well aligned. So it's just I don't know why this is not. Let me just put it on this side. Okay, this is still not looking good. Let me just put this one back. Okay, let it fit this side. So it's coming together now. So you can decide to, since this is a static dashboard, you might decide to now talk about some of the things you did, like adding a text to describe what you did. So if we are going to do that, let's see, let me reduce the size for this. So let me just insert the text box. So in the text, let's write this dashboard Toyota cars showing the factories of the cars in the organization. So you can just increase the font size so for it to be more visible. Okay, this is too much. Still too much. 6%. Okay, this is better. So so if we had more things, we could have just typed it out so it can fill up this whole spot. But we don't have any more thing to see. So this is where we'll be stopping for today. I know I've entered into your time, but did everybody get it to this point? Yeah, you can reduce the size of your canvas if you actually want it larger, smaller. So you can reduce the size, you can increase the size. So this is actually not the best dashboard, but this shows you everything, like most of the things that you can use to design your dashboard. So I'm sorry I entered your time, but we are done for today. So you guys should keep practicing on your own and trying to make a good dashboard, like good and presentable dashboard. The most important thing is following, like knowing the right thing to do. So everything is not about the beauty of your dashboard. But what is important is when they see it, it should be understandable, it should be organized. So that's actually what is important about dashboard. So we have done for today. Thank you for joining the class. So for the assignment, I want you guys to actually go to that practice data set, the one that was on my slide. The practice zone, not the drive on, the practice zone. Pick up one data set that you'd like to work with, then work on it, build a dashboard on it, and submit it. So that's the assignment. So we are done. Thank you, everybody, for joining the class. It was good having you. See you tomorrow.
Much everyone for joining. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.